Hello and welcome again to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, I have as my second guest, and let me make sure I get this right, Vanessa Nicoli-David. Now, Vanessa is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy. She's also a recipient of the prestigious Director's Award. And she has with her her very special guest, Britney, who came in for, I bet you can see it, not one but two things. And welcome to your inner child, also right there. Britney came in for joyous labor and childbirth, but also procrastination. Please help me welcome my guests. Britney, I'm going to start with you. How did you find Vanessa?
Well, I was at my first OB's office, and I actually asked specifically about hypnotherapy for birth. And
how did you even know about it?
Well, I had actually spoken with a friend of mine's father who's a psychoanalyst who got into psychoanalysis because he'd seen a woman be taken under for her labor. And he was just fascinated, so he told me about it, and I know his daughter had a really wonderful labor because of it too.
Yes.
So when I was speaking with my therapist, or my OB, she then produced this, this envelope with Vanessa's information and a wonderful list of things that she can do. And from there, that's when I called her.
I'm very impressed, Vanessa, that you have made a connection in your networking and have a relationship with an OBGYN who highly recommends you. And I'd like everybody to take note of that, that as we connect with professionals, other professionals, we can refer back and forth. Mm-hmm. So, did you go in just for joyous labor and childbirth?
Well, it was when I saw this wonderful menu. Because I'm getting my PhD right now, and I see these two huge deadlines, and very joyous and hopeful, wonderful deadlines, but converging. And so I am one who procrastinates, which is fine if you're not a mother, but it's a problem if you are. And so I kind of pulled one on Vanessa and asked if we could actually go over my procrastination first. And she understood better and faster than I did that they're really the same issue. It's about being a good mother and a good person. Yes. So we started on that first.
What was it like working with Britney?
Well, I was very happy that she called me for procrastination because I work with many issues. Like she looked at the menu, and so it was great. So I used some techniques, for her to, because most of the procrastinating people they often have so much thing on their plate that they are overwhelmed, and so then comes the fear. So it was great to have those issues like maternity, pregnancy, and procrastination mixed together. So it was really exciting to work on both issues at the same time.
Did you feel that she was able to address both issues at the same time?
Yes. I mean, it was remarkable. At the first session we had, before we got into the hypnosis and everything, she just immediately identified what it is that makes me a procrastinator.
What is it?
And
are you comfortable sharing with us?
Of course. It's I'm a perfectionist, which makes it really hard to do anything if you want to do everything. And so, she just identified it so quickly, and it was a very forehead-slapping moment for me. And then what she then sat down to do was really make time my friend, which is and we set up a schedule that worked for me as a student and for me as an expectant mother. Yes. And really to make this less about fear of work and fear of not work, I suppose are the same thing, but an embracing of these deadlines.
Can you teach us, Vanessa, what kind of method you used in hypnotherapy to help Britney achieve these goals?
Well, while she's under hypnosis, I get her to visualize herself like on a schedule, and seeing herself having that schedule, and allowing herself on every part of the day and each and every day, seeing herself taking care of all the different elements of her dissertation, and also mainly allowing herself to get those moments that we call me and baby time.
What's that?
That was those moments just allowing herself not to be working on her dissertation, allowing herself to just be centered on herself and the baby. So that would be those days or those part of the days where she would take care only of herself, such as resting or taking appointments. Yeah. So she was able to visualize herself on the whole week and have a whole schedule just set in front of her and just seeing herself doing all those things.
Well, I love that, and I'll tell you why. Brittany, this is a very unique time. You are already in relationship with this beautiful, beautiful baby, but this relationship you get to share, and it's just you and baby. And treasure this time of being a mom before you have to share baby with the rest of the world. And it's very, very, very precious.
Yeah, I do.
Do you use any neuro-linguistic programming?
Yes, I did. Because she was so overwhelmed and so perfectionist as she was, I helped her chunk down all the priorities and all she had on her plate to do.
So chunking down, describe what that means.
Chunking down is just because she had so much with the 2 deadlines and everything. So we took all the elements of her dissertation, everything she had to do on the professional and private life, and we chunked down all the different elements, every element she had to work on. And we started to spread and dispatch those different elements she had to work on a weekly schedule.
Perfect, because you know, when there is so much on your plate, as you said, that's a beautiful metaphor, because I see it on a plate.
Right.
It becomes so much, you can become stuck or paralyzed, and there's so much to do, you don't do anything. To be able to chunk it down like that. Only worry about what it is to do next, instead of the entire thing.
Exactly.
Now, Brittany, did you do any work with Vanessa on joyous labor and childbirth?
Well, after we were done with procrastination, that's when we started doing the joyous labor and childbirth hypnosis sessions, and Vanessa has also recorded for me relaxation techniques that I listen to every day if I'm a very good student. and now Vanessa's voice is the most relaxing thing in the world to me.
So I'm going to hold your feet to the fire by asking Brittany a question. Tell me about the procrastination. Tell me about the dissertation and what you've gotten done, and how did it work going from theoretical, the PhD student, to practical?
I really do, rather than kind of sit in front of the beginning of the day, which I used to do, and amazingly, I can be very laterally productive, which is when you have the laptop in front of you and you work on everything that isn't your work.
Do you mean it's cute cat videos?
Adorable. And but instead, I'm actually thinking, okay, from now until lunchtime, I'm working on this particular project, and I feel gratified knowing that that's actually what I'm going to be doing, and I feel gratified that thereafter for having done so.
Yes. What's your PhD in? I just
urban planning.
Wow.
Oh, that's fun.
And when is this baby due?
A month and change from now.
Okay. Listen, if you go into labor, don't panic. I'm a hypnotherapist.
I feel safe here.
Yeah, yes,
I think this is a good place to go into labor.
Hypnotherapists. Excellent. So how are you going to use your hypnosis about procrastination once you have your PhD and you are a mom?
Well, I think actually it really gets down to Vanessa's chunking down the work life and the me and baby life, and making these things component to and with each other. So rather than one pushing the other aside entirely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What would you say to anybody else, highly educated or not, who's thinking about hypnotherapy for having too much on the plate?
Do it.
All right.
I highly recommend it.
What can you
say yes.
What can you say about working with Vanessa?
Again, as I said earlier, I was just struck by her immediate insight into what it is that drives my procrastination, and that was something that I saw before I even got to know her as a hypnotist.
Yes.
And that's just, she is a really wonderful therapist and listener, and the way she takes information in and then she shares it back with you. and then she does wonderful hypnosis.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Now, I am very, very psychic. I think that you may be bilingual. So, let me ask, do you Skype?
Yes, and I do some session in French or English, depending on the...
So people in France and in Morocco and any place else on planet Earth where people speak French and or English, we can reach Vanessa at hmigrads.com. Well, I want to thank both of you so much for being a guest on my show, but it appears we're out of time. Please check out Vanessa, let me get this right, Nicoli-David at hmigrads.com, and please stay tuned because we have a lot more coming up for you on Hypnosis Television. You can see it, not one but two things. And welcome to your inner child, also right there. Britney came in for joyous labor and childbirth, but also procrastination. Please help me welcome my guests. Britney, I'm going to start with you. How did you find Vanessa?
Well, I was at my first
Hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, I have as my second guests, and let me make sure I get this right, Vanessa Nicoli-David. Now, Vanessa is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy. She's also a recipient of the prestigious Director's Award. And she has with her her very special guest, Britney, who came in for a bit. Hello and welcome again to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using
OB's office, and I actually asked specifically about hypnotherapy for birth. And
How did you even know about it?
Well, I had actually spoken with a friend of mine's father who's a psychoanalyst who got into psychoanalysis because he'd seen a woman be taken under for her labor. And he was just fascinated, so he told me about it, and I know his daughter had a really wonderful labor because of it too.
Yes.
So when I was speaking with my therapist, or my OB, she then produced this, this envelope with Vanessa's information and a wonderful list of things that she can do. And from there, that's when I called her.
I'm very impressed, Vanessa, that you have